Hello there, great person, and welcome back to my read-through of The Wheel of Time. Currently, we're still on book 1 called The Eye of the World, and yeah, so for my background, I've already seen the show, but I've not read the book, so I started reading the books. That's what I'm doing here, and I'm currently at chapter 6, and we will read chapter 6 and chapter 7 today. What happened? Well, Tam was injured by the Trollocs, and we had Nog, the employee of the month, who, yeah, he tried to take Rand, but he didn't really manage to do that because, yeah, he wasn't smart enough in the end. So we're gonna read that today. Also, I'm gonna start watching, if you're interested, The Witcher on Saturday. So as I'm recording this, today is Thursday still, so I'm gonna watch it in 2 days. But if you see this video, I've already watched it, so you can look forward to the Witcher reaction. And also, I will start Expanse soon, and I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of work done in the last month, and now I can finally watch some stuff I really want to watch. I'm sorry that it took so long, but it will now be, yeah, we'll now start to do that. And yeah, that's all I want to say. So let's just keep reading. Let's see if we get to meet Nynaeve here, and let's just start. And yeah, if you like this, consider liking, subscribing, and perhaps ring the bell. But we will start the reading now of the chapter called "The West Wood," which is apparently the wood they're in. So yeah, let's just keep going. Okay, so Rand is noticing the wound that is on Tom's chest. No, yeah, on his chest, so it's along the ribs. It's a small wound, but it seems to have a severe effect on Tam. And I think someone told me that it's poison. I'm not sure, but yeah, let's see if it's poison, what poison it is. Yeah, it's hot, so it's probably poisoned or magical. Yeah, now he's thinking about the Trollocs. He's telling himself, yeah, they will just leave if they see that we're not there, so they will just go away. And he knows it's not right. And yeah, we know that too, because if you've seen the show, it's like, yeah, they are sent to get you. So if they don't get you, they will not return empty-handed, probably, because the Myrddraal or things higher up than the Myrddraal, which I don't know if there are things higher up than the Myrddraal, but um, they will make you regret coming back with empty hands, probably. So yeah, it's like, yeah, tell yourself that, but don't count on it. This is something that is quite peculiar. It has not a lot to do with what's written here as a it's more like, is this realistic or not? And this is not that realistic, but yeah, we'll read it. It's like, so Rand is currently trying to bandage up Pam's wounds, and now he froze when he thought about the Trollocs, and he thinks to himself. Abruptly, he realized he was holding the untied ends of the bandage in motionless hands. Frozen like a rabbit that's seen a hawk's shadow, he thought scornfully. So that's something I recently read or saw in a movie as well. It's this trope that people tend to freeze when they are in real danger. And I've read some psychological research and literature on that, actually, and it was very interesting literature. And this is like not really what would happen. This thought that you would freeze up is like more myth than actually true. It is correct that if you are really afraid, you can freeze, but if you are terrified for your life, you will flee. It's like a hierarchical thing. So if you like go in a dangerous situation and you don't really know if it's really dangerous or it might be a bit dangerous, you freeze, yeah. But if it's your life thereafter, you run. You run. I mean, rabbits, yes, it's true, they freeze up, but we are not from rabbits. It's like it is more natural to run than to freeze, and this it's like a myth. It's like the myth that, yeah, you are so afraid, you will freeze. That's the worst thing that can happen. If you were afraid, like like on a scale from 0 to 100, if you're afraid 50, you will run, and if you were 100, you will freeze. No, it's the other way around. It's quite interesting. So just some little trivia to know. It's like, yeah. Ooh, interesting. Tam starts speaking about his mother, which is apparently called Kari. And she's been dead 15 years, so probably most of Ren's life. Interesting as well. So this is really nicely done. So Tem is like Ren's hero, his idol, the one he wants to be like, the one that's indestructible, that can do no wrong. And this is exaggerated, but he's like this person he wants to be, and now he sees him in this state, and it really messes with him. I like that. It's like reality is coming. It's not like your fairy tale that your father's the almighty person. That's growing up. That's growing up. If you don't, the moment you realize that your parents are people like you, exactly like you, just trying to do the right thing but failing sometimes and being vulnerable, that's the moment you grow up. It's, at least some would say that. So that's good. So he's growing up here. Yeah, and Rand is deciding to take the road, not the forest. And yes, the road is more dangerous, as he rightfully argues here, but getting lost in the wood, you might, if the canopy, is it called canopy? The treetops that are this wall, when they block out the moon, you can't really see where you're going. You will get lost. And even, if you head into a direction and you get it wrong by 1 degree, you will be off so much if you keep on going that way. He's right here to take the road, I think, even though, yeah, both things could be bad. So I see. So he doesn't go on the road, but he gets through the thicket next to it, through the trees next. Wow, that's more clever than I would have been. I don't know. If I would have been in that situation, I would not have gone to the road but next to it as well, but I didn't think of that just now. So he was cleverer than my theory, at least. You know what I mean? Yeah, and now he's getting tired because he's been up all day working his behind off. And yeah, well, I hope the adrenaline will get him through this. Jesus. That must be so hard, dragging your father on a litter through the forest. And wow, that is so badass. What a guy. Okay, now Tom is waking up and he's speaking. They came over the dragon wall like a flood and washed the land with blood. How many died for Lemon's sin? Yeah, so he's probably hallucinating about a battle, and he tried to defend something because it's a wall, and they crossed the wall like a flood, and they just overran them. So yeah, and he's talking to him and saying, "Yeah, it's gonna be all right, Father. They're not Trolloc floods." Okay. Now he's talking about some. So they were attacked at this wall. So Tem was attacked at this wall, and there was someone attacking them, and they thought, yeah, they were nothing. It doesn't matter, and they just overwhelmed them because they did underestimate someone. Interesting. Wonder who that was. Yeah, and they just rushed whatever they are. They rushed everything down. And here we have some important names again. I guess it's Marath and Kerhian. So in German, I would say Kerhian, but I don't know how it's pronounced. I will look it up in the end, probably, because we've got this glossary. So, oh, Trollocs are there. Interesting. Let's see if they get them. Oh, it's a shade with Trollocs. Yeah, the shade's here, guy, mate, friend. That's not good. Yeah, and they moved past in the distance and did not see him. That's good. That's very good. Ooh, the shade is coming back. That's so creepy. It's slowly coming back. That is so creepy. It's searching for them. It's going down the road and searching for them. It's so creepy. Yeah. And it went away, but man, the fact that it's making him so afraid of this shade thing. Perhaps it was real. I still don't know if it was real what they saw. I'm still in. Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know. Oh, they're running back to the farm. Okay. The shade is. I mean, good for him. This is interesting. This is very well written. So Rand is going onwards, and he's starting to feel the tiredness again after he drank something. I think he drank something, if I understood it correctly. And then he thinks of the village of Eamon's Field. Pictures them, how they are, you know. That is very good. That's very well written. Because that's what you should do. You know, you should picture a goal. If you picture a goal in your head, in your mind, you can do more than when you wander around aimlessly. You know, even if you know roughly what your goal is, picture it, imagine it. That is actually quite a wise psychological thing to do. So if you're in a bit of a trouble and you know where you're going, picture it. If you're having a hard time going there, picture it. It helps at least to gain confidence and strength. So, yeah. So, yeah, now he thinks about the village, about Matt and his pranks, and that everyone knows it's Matt, even though they don't know it's him because they can't prove it. Well, they do know, but you know. And now Tam is speaking, and so let's see what he says. Avendesora. Avendesora seems to be a plant that supposedly doesn't reproduce, but they brought a little, you know, sapling of it to Carrion. Why? I don't know why, but he's apparently at Carrion's mind, and yeah. Okay, this I have to read twice, I think. So someone offered the sapling, even though... So someone who doesn't do peace offered a peace sign. And whoever it was offered to apparently cut it down, and after it growing 500 years, which is, yeah. I mean, conceptually that's great. You know, it's like they nurtured it, and giving something away that you nurture through the years that is important to you, that you keep safe, and giving it to someone is a great gesture of peace and of trust. And whoever this was, they gave it to whoever it was cut down like an incredibly bad insult. This sounds to me like a bad insult, and then blood was spilled. That's what I get from this. If I get this wrong, please correct me, but that sounds like someone who was not doing peace tried to offer a peace treaty, and it was cut down, literally, and yeah, bloodbaths followed. Laman's pride. So Laman was Laman who it was offered to. The Green Man. So the Green Man seems to be a creature that owned this Avendesora tree, and it supposedly did not have a sapling, and Rand knows it from a story, so it's probably wrong what he knows, but it's a starting point for us to try to understand this. And again, the stories coming, they were only stories, no mate, they're not. They might be a bit corrupted, but they are historical, like historical documents or historical stories. And now he, for the first time, thinks about all the stories being real, and he realizes that the world is greater than he thought, that the stories he was told are not just stories, but happenings that might have happened and might still happen around him in the world that he doesn't know and has not yet explored. So more reason for him, perhaps, potentially, to go out into the world, you know? Oh, wow, this is the battle at the side of Dragonmount. It's I assume because Tam now talks about, at first, very great metaphor, like, yeah, war is always hot because you sweat, you are afraid, you know, you're sweating even though you're fighting in the snow, perhaps, potentially, and death is cold. That's great writing, but then it says, so it's probably the Aiel they mean. So the Aiel conjured everything, but why would they underestimate them? I'm not that sure about that. Why would they underestimate the Aiel? Did the myth of the Aiel as being these badass warriors that I thought they were already, did that originate from this battle that Tam was part of? Might be. If it's a spoiler, don't tell me, but if I misunderstood it, please tell me. And he heard a pregnant woman, so it wasn't unusual for the Aiel probably to fight with women, which is badass. And I like the women fight, or the woman fight in the show as well. That was such a good scene. And yeah, now he wonders why they took a pregnant woman. Perhaps we will find something. And she already had given birth. And she died of her wounds, yeah. Wow. Ooh. That is so... what? Wow. You know, it's just these 4 lines. But man, tells you everything. How he manages this. 4 lines and it tells you everything. I will read them. Blown the cloak away, child, blue with cold. Should have been dead too. Crying there. Crying in the snow. I couldn't just leave a child. Great character building, wow. I mean, that's who he is. So good. This little line. No children of our own. Him seeing the child, thinking what to do with this innocent, pure child in war. The child in war, you know, war is like everyone's in the wrong. It's like, and I'm sorry to go to Bleach again, I love Bleach. Kyoraku Shunsu, he said, it doesn't matter who owes who or who hates who. The moment the war breaks out, everyone is in the wrong. And this is this. It's like this war is going on, everyone is in the wrong, and then there is this innocent child he finds. This innocent child he finds in the war that is bleeding everyone dry, that is making everyone sweat, and there is this piece of peace that he finds. And the thing he thinks is, I wanted a child as well. And that's what makes him protect this poor innocent child. And he tells him things to get this child. Perhaps he really wants it. I think he really does want a child. But it's also like he tries to find this. Perhaps, and this might be an overinterpretation of my part, but he tries to get this innocence out of the terrible, terrible thing he sees. And he has lived through, and he sees some light, and he sees the child, and he takes it. And this is overinterpretation. I know that. You know, it's probably not that much, but I love that. I love to think that. That's what I'm... wow. Always knew you wanted children, thinking of the love of his life in the war. Thinking of home, of raising up a child, of being a good man, even though he's probably in the worst situation he's ever been in this war at Dragon Mountain. He takes the child. Knew you'd take it to your heart, Curry. Yes, lass. Rand is a good name. A good name. And he names him Rand. I wonder if Rand means something. Sorry to drag this scene out, but I love it. That's good writing. So much in these few lines. Wow. And they, by the way, that is the thing they really... I mean, it's obviously a bit better written here, but the scene they added in the show with him finding the child... yeah. Although it might also have been... and I don't... not necessarily better, but following him, this nameless soldier, perhaps always from behind when he slays people, and then he finds the child. That would have always been a great scene to do there, you know, from his perspective here, because that would have perhaps even gotten this theme here around better, you know, following him like in Saving Private Ryan, or in what's it called? In this episode of Game of Thrones where they have the battle at Winterfell with Ramsay and Jon. You know, this scene where everyone, you know, something like this, and then the child, and everything goes silent, and the war seems to stop, and he changes, and you suddenly see his face. You know, the camera turns around, you don't see his back. Whatever. I'm sorry, spinning around here. Do you call it that, or imagining things? But yeah. One of my favorite passages here, that from what everything I read currently, very well written, very very good writing. Yeah, and Rand's a bit distraught now. Yeah, and this as well, telling us how shocked he is. If a troll jumped in front of him, he wouldn't care, because this is something he's what my his world is coming down. First, the stories get real. Now, who he think so. The world outside has shown itself to be a lot more complex and magical and interesting and dangerous than he thought. And now everything he thought was right seems to be toppling because he's not who he is. Two perfect preconditions to go out adventuring. Very nicely done. Very nicely done, Robert Jordan. You are my father, is what Rand says to this after he's thought about it, has been shaken. You are my father. That's... yeah. Yeah, he is. Yeah. That's something very personal for me right now as well, because, you know, I'm adopted. And my father is my father. My father's the greatest man I know, you know. It's like, yeah, they took me in, you know. It's like, yeah, why who I mean, your biological parents, they create you, but who you are, your values, what it means to be a good man, to be there for the people you love, that's what I learned from my father. So, and it's my father, you know. It doesn't matter who created you, it's who raised you, who is in your heart and your family, and I wouldn't want anyone else. And this is really hits home for me personally, on a personal level. And I'm with Rand. He's your father. Yes, he is. Doesn't matter. And that really, really makes me like Rand 1,000 times more, even, because that shows me that he gets it. And it's realistic. If you would ask me who's my father, I would say the one who's my father. You know what I mean? It's like, why? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who created you. It's who raised you, who made you who you are. Though he is shaken, yeah, he is shaking. He says it was just a fever dream, but who am I? That's the last thing in the chapter, by the way. Who am I? Who am I? Yeah, that's the thing that comes from that. If you don't know that he's not your father and you get this news, you know, he's still your father. Yes, he is. But you don't know who you are anymore. And there's the core motivation for him to go, one of the core motivations for him to go on a journey. Great writing. Just marvelous. So that it was chapter 6. Yeah, chapter 6. So what did I think of this? I think there were only two things happening, really. You know, it was just he saw the shade, which was really, really creepily done. I loved that. And the revelation of Tem. And I like that revelation. Was very nuanced, the way it was written. I understood Tem a lot. I understood Rand a lot in this scene. And he acted the way I would have acted, probably, which makes me love Rand even more. I really do love him here. That is a very, very good development, and very well written here. So, yeah. It's not really much more I can say about this, because, you know, I've said everything. So let's just go on. Let's see what chapter 7 has got for us. Oh, and now it's dawning. So yeah, he made it halfway. Yeah, out of the woods it's called, by the way. So he's probably gonna get out of the woods. Yeah, and Ren is now at the point where he doesn't feel his exhaustion anymore. It's like you're in this tunnel. I don't know how it's called in English. In Germany, we would call it, you know, if I translated it word for word, it's like a tunnel vision you get. I know the word tunnel vision exists in English as well, but I don't know if it means the same here in this context. So, like this tunnel vision, that you are in the zone. Yeah, I think you say like you're in the zone. You just go on. You don't think anymore. It's like, yeah, I was, when I was young, or when 10 or 15 years ago, I was swimming a lot, and I was swimming a lot of butterfly. And when you swim butterfly for hundreds of meters, which is quite a lot in swimming, I think, at least for me. I know there are people who will say, no, it's not a lot, but there is this point where you just get into the zone, you just swim, you don't think anymore. It's quite a meditative experience, actually. One of the few experiences I had where I thought this was like a bit of meditation, you know, it was very good. So, and he's in the zone now. He's working, he has to go, he knows where to go, he's pictured it, he just has to go on. That is also powerful. So he's thinking of, yeah, if I see someone, I'm gonna shout for help. Doesn't matter who it is. Might also be Sen. And then a small voice in the back of his head told him to hope someone there could still give help. So doubt is rising whether they are still alive. Ooh. I mean, this is the point where I think, are they still alive or not? Because in the show, the village was trashed. Is it trashed here as well? Oh, yeah. Village burned down. Yeah, man, Jesus. But they were able to save some stuff from the fire. So if they were able to save stuff from the fire, they were probably not worried about being hacked to death by Trollocs. So what happened? And it's random. So random houses were burned. What? What's going on? Yeah. So the Beltane fires are lit. So they lit those. Probably did they lit those and they uncontrollably jumped, you know, to houses, or but the houses that are burned down are irregularly placed, so it probably was an inside job. No, it was not, but it was Trollocs probably burning random houses. Okay, so the Trollocs were there, so they saw the Trollocs. This blacksmith just told him, yeah, it was Trollocs too, and now he's calling for Gwen because apparently she can call Nynaeve now. Yeah, now she's gonna take them to Nynaeve. Good, do that. That is bad as well. All through the night, Eamon's field had been a haven where he and Tem would be safe. No, all he could seem to do was stare in dismay at her smoke-stained dress. So he realizes that the goal he pictured in his mind was not the goal he wanted. It's not as good as he pictured it. Yeah, and he seems shell-shocked as well because he notices things on Egwene that are random a bit. You know, her clean hands. So why are her hands clean? Is she helping cleaning the wounds? I don't know. Oh, Matt's house is burned down. Oh no. But he's alive. I mean, yeah, we know that because we saw the show. Elspeth cracked Walt's skull with a frying pan. That's what you should do. You should take a pen and, you know, you should be like Dan from Doctor Who. You can pen them. They were panned by the critic. No, sorry. And then she ran around with a hammer hunting them. I like that. I like that woman. Yeah, Elspeth, you're great. Yeah, but Rand is shaken by Tam's words. He's still no. It's like he has these words. My father. It's just the fever talking. It's inside of him. It will grow, and let's see where it leads him. I don't suppose today will be much of a bad time. Yeah, we'll make it through. We always have. That's what they are. You know, these. What was said before. They are so stubborn. If it's not other men, if it's like something from nature, like the Trollocs or a drought or I don't know, an ice age, they will get things destroyed. They will rebuild. It's their way. It's so interesting. It's like it's in their blood. They now start, you know, it's yeah, okay, their houses are burnt down and now they start. And they will rebuild, reconstruct because they can and because they will and because they're determined. I like that scene. I really do like how they characterize the village in all these chapters. That's so good. It's like this, yeah. Oh, he's dying. And she can't do anything, so Moiraine has to do something. By the way, what did Moiraine do? In the show, she did this better stuff, but did she do that here? I don't know. Ooh, this is the first really interesting emotion we get from Nynaeve. He says, do something, you're the wisdom, you know, like it's your job, do something. Or by God, I will hunt, you know. And Pain twisted her face, but only for a moment. So she really is masking, you know, her emotions, and she is emotional. Yeah, we get to know a bit about the real Nynaeve. That's good. Yeah, but she is reacting the way you. I think it is the most useful way to react. Like she sees this is a lost cause. I will help others, but she really is tries to, you know, comfort Rand. This is the first time she's really someone who comforts people, who wants good for them. Explicitly, you know, it's not like this. I mean, we know she's a great person, probably as well here. I mean, in the show, she's a great person. At least I love her in the show. It's probably like that here down the line as well. But this is the first time we really see some care from her, some love and warmth, and I like that. She's intricately written here. Our troubles are just beginning, I'm afraid. Let's see what she means by that. Oh, now Gwen is hugging him. That's good. Wow, yeah, and Gwen she's helping Nynaeve, of course. And that's why she washed her hands, because that's what I said. Because she's tending to the wounded, and you know, it's like disinfecting it a bit. Not that much, but at least she's not putting dirt in the wounds. But yeah, Gwen, she hugged him and she likes him, and then Nynaeve says, "Yeah, come here, you have to help me now." And Gwen knows it's the right thing to do, but she wants to be with Rand as well, but she has to do her duty. It's harsh. It's really, really harsh. Yeah, now he's grasping at straws and thinks that the mayor can help him, but yeah, he's shell-shocked. Great depiction of shell-shock. You know, it's like you're numb, you don't realize what others do. You like try to say the words so they leave you alone, and yeah. At least Patton's wagon was destroyed, so he's probably part of it. I don't know yet, but you know, he's an evil guy. We know that. So at least that. Old Fane just disappeared, and that's the worst of all. Where has he gone? Well, he's probably gone back to the Dark One, but yeah, little hints here. Yeah, now it's the young sign on the door because they're looking for the dragon, yeah. Ooh, Bella came into the village. At least Bella was saved because she's a clever girl. Now Thomas at least getting a bed. And probably Moiraine that will come. That might be where Moiraine is revealed as an Aes Sedai. That would be so good, you know. That would be great, because all we know of the Aes Sedai right now, officially, is that they are really evil. I mean, you believe the stories. And her showing that she is healing, that would be a nice hint to that the stories, again, are not what they appear to be. Oh, this is so mean. So the mayor sent Tom, or whatever, to Nynaeve to get her, and she said, I already said that I can't do anything. You go away, you scrawly bastard. Whatever. Sorry for the word, but Nynaeve being Nynaeve again. Yeah, now it's dawning on him that he can't do anything. He has to get Moiraine. Oh, yeah, but Moiraine and Lan did protect the village, so let me read this again. So, yeah, so Moiraine called ball lightning out of... That is so much more badass than in the show. Oh, why didn't they do that? Ball lightning is so interesting. Because it shows you that she's not only using the elements like in the show. You know, in the show it's like she used some basic elements, but ball lightning is like a combination of air and fire, probably something like that. And electricity, it shows that she really can construct really dangerous stuff, you know. And by construct, I mean, it's not just, she doesn't just invoke an element, she controls very intricate, constructed elemental attacks, so to speak, and Lan is the woman. Yeah, damn. Okay, so what seems to have happened is a bit like in the show. It's like the Trollocs ran in, started ending people, and Lan just went in. And then the villagers started defending themselves because they're badass. And it's revealed that she's an Aes Sedai. Okay, it's revealed here. And then the mayor is a bit sarcastic. Did you think they wore signs? Aes Sedai, danger, stay away. It's so good. Oh god, I love the mayor. Yeah, Aes Sedai can heal. Yeah. Now we get somewhere. And now it comes out that Aes Sedai can heal and are actually potentially positive as well. Nice. Yeah, now the stories about the Aes Sedai, he knows their evil deeds, their poisonous nature comes out, and he thinks about the coin. It's now this evil thing he's got in his pocket. Yeah, she should have been a bit more suspicious before, mate. But anyway, and yeah, let's see where this goes. Some of the stories are exaggerated in a way, Tom said. Yeah, now he's gonna take it. Yeah, he's got no choice. He will just do it. Yeah, now he's afraid of Moiraine, even though she was depicted as this person you cannot be afraid of because you love her. It's such a contrast that Robert Jordan is creating. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so Lannis pillaging the dead at Trollocs, and he says Hobal. What does that mean? Is that the name of the sign he's taking from them? Is that the name of the Trolloc that's on the sign? We don't know. I mean, not everyone can be a Narg. This is a great thing as well. So he goes there fully expecting her to see her differently because he imagined Aes Sedai as these monsters. And probably, it's like something I've been working on as well in my work on psychology of understanding. It's like the things the properties you ascribe to something, you picture them when you think about it. It's like, and this is exactly right. So he's picturing, or he always pictured Aes Sedai as these terrible things that are ugly like Trollocs, or what's said here. She should look closer to a Trolloc because that's really disgusting stuff he thought of, and you project it onto the outward appearance because you want to align them, and that's what would happen in real life probably as well, which is great writing detail. But yeah, then no, she's just this pristine, beautiful young woman sitting in the dirt, not faced by sitting in the dirt, and that's down to earth, and yeah, and she can help Tam. Great. So his biases are confronted by her appearance and by her way, and the stick is also interesting, this gnarly stick with flowers. Great. That's probably going now in the direction you told me of in the last episode. So she's like a hawk described here, and she's there tired, but then she sees Ren, and what she says is a little more light in the darkness, so his appearance is positive. And she immediately asks him, "How are your dreams, Randall 4? How are your dreams? My dreams." And he's confused. What's he gonna say now? Or she? I can help with bad dreams sometimes, and you should tell me about bad dreams. Yeah, what's this gonna be, this dream thing? Yeah, I'm so curious about the dream thing. I love dreams. I actually, the newest horror story that I released is about a very, very strange dream someone has that manifests something very evil into his world, so to speak. You can check it out when it's out. I will link it when it's out, but yeah, not now because it's not been read. You can read it, but no one read it, But it's like, yeah, dreams. I love dreams. The concept of dreams. It's one of my favorite concepts in fiction and non-fiction. That's also good. But the stories, and then he says to Moiraine that he wants to convince her to help him because, yeah, nothing works. But the stories say you are powerful. But then he remembers, okay, there were always the villains in the stories. This is not so good. Can't say anything more. Ooh, and Moiraine says, your wisdom knows what she's about. So whatever happened between them, she knows that Nynaeve is not stupid and she's very, very skilled. This is the first confirmation that Nynaeve is exceptional in what she does normally. So, before we had this talk of Sen where he said, yeah, she can't predict anything and she's quite bad. And, but Moiraine, someone who really knows powers and stuff, she says this about her. Your wisdom knows what she's about. Wow. What a great detail as well. And she says, I will do what I can, but it's beyond my power to stop the wheel from turning. So fate, it's gonna be decided by fate. Ooh, this is also new information. Death comes sooner or later to everyone, the warder said grimly, unless they serve the Dark One. And only fools are willing to pay that price. So the Dark One gives eternal life somehow. And that might be why certain characters are still alive. Or are alive longer than you think. So it also means the Aes Sedai are not eternally living. Or perhaps they use something similar, but you know? And now Moiraine says we have some reason to celebrate. Why? Does she already know he's the dragon? I don't know. Oh, and now Moiraine says, I will help him as much as I'm able. Too many here have refused to let me help at all. They have heard the stories too. So she knows what Rand is thinking about her. She knows what everyone is thinking about her. She wants to help them. She's not like in the stories, because we know how she is a bit from the show already, you know what I mean? But she seems to be a great character, and she can't help them. That must be hard on her as well, you know, having the power to help them, but not being able to because they don't want to. Ooh, stories can be a really bad thing if they are, you know, if they're distorted to where they depict you in a bad light and it's unfair. But every story also has the truth at the core, I think, that is long-lived. So, and this as well. So Lan now tells Rand, "Hey, she's absolutely tired. It's like she ran around with a sack of stones on her back the whole night. She's so done, and why would she do that? No matter what she says, she shouldn't do this, you know." But Moiraine is still, she is so tired, and we saw that in the show, I think as well, which made her really likable in the show as well. That she's done. She can't do. She's at her limits, but she will try her best still. Oh God, I love Moiraine so much. I really do. I think from this book, Moraine's my favorite character currently, and I think the second is Rand and Tam together. Oh, and that's also, wow. Moiraine says, you think about taking care of me. Why should he not want to take care of the one he loves? You know, and because we already know from the show, at least I do, that they have this deep bond. That is so great. Oh God, she's written so well. And Rand is, everyone's written so well. So yeah, that was the chapter. That was the chapter. So we did get more of Moiraine, of Lan, of how the Aes Sedai are seen. The village was attacked, but Moiraine fended them off as well. So it was like, yeah, Rand in the show, Rand was in the village, and they condensed it a bit, but I think it fit. It fit as well. I think they didn't even need to have them back in their home. They could have had them there as well in the village during the battle time. I think that was a good change in the show. It condensed it a bit. I'm just so sad that Moiraine didn't use ball lightning, because that would have been so bad. As I hope she does down the line. And yeah, so Moiraine and Lan fended them off, and by their example, the villagers acted as well. And some died, some are hurt, but not a lot are hurt. Some is hurt. We got more of Nynaeve, a bit more pure, What did you say? How should I phrase this? So before we got Nynaeve, only in the tellings of the people that are very conservative, very, you know, old-fashioned, so to speak, and they don't really like her because she's young a bit, and there's bias there. And we got all the statements about Nynaeve, and we saw her once, and she was very, you know, a bit angry because some stupid things had happened, and so we didn't really get to see the normal Nynaeve, the balanced Nynaeve. And here we saw her passion for her peers the first time, and we got from Moiraine the info that she is very, very good at being a wisdom, even though Moiraine doesn't know that much about her. But her saying that, and she can't lie. We don't know that yet here, but she can't lie. So Moiraine can't lie, and she says she's very, very good at being wisdom. Oh God, that's so nuanced. And it's so good. Oh God, I love this book so much. Such a great book. And I've got 30 more to go after this one. You don't know how glad I am. But anyway, I'm through with this now, and tomorrow I will discuss it with my friends, but you will see that in a minute now. And yeah, so let's give it over to the future multi, where I will have it discussed it with my friends, and let's see what we talked about. And I hope that you have a great day. But I will tell you that again in the end of the in the end of this video, because yeah. So see you, and yeah, let's take our future self. Please do it. So, hello there, great person. I'm back. We talked a lot and quite long again, long time. And yeah, we discussed several things. So, first things first, we actually discussed what we would do next time. And we decided to try to do 3 chapters next time. Because we noticed that it's getting a bit quicker to read them, because, you know, the world is slowly settled and built a bit, you know, and the foundation is laid. So, I suspect that we will that the times I need to discuss the chapters might get shorter now. We are not sure. We want to try it next time, so yeah, you can look forward to that. And yeah, so about the chapter, um, yeah, there was, I think the biggest thing that was new that we discussed was that the point when Rand takes the sword and, you know, puts it around his belt, or I don't know, fastens it at his belt, whatever, you know, puts it on, he feels the weight of the sword. And that seems to be a part, and this is from my friend who has read it, and he said it's never really stated anywhere, but he thinks that that was a point where Rand's decision influenced the weaving of the wheel, you know? The pattern, you know, it's the pattern showing itself there, because Rand did a decision, and that it influenced a lot of things. And I will keep a lookout for more like that. So for more moments like that where something is, you know, like this decision that will or might have an effect later on. Also, he told me to keep an eye on the sword and Brandon the sword, so I will do that as well. I would have done that anyway, but yeah, it's good to have something to really focus on, and it's fun to, you know where to look for perhaps. And yeah, next thing is we talked about the rider, the shade, and we will keep an eye on the shade's abilities, and we will, in the end, or some books down the line, who knows when that is, we will discuss again these chapters with regards to the shade's abilities, because they might not have been created to their full extent here, my friend said, but he's not that sure, and he wants to discuss it with us. So, you know, it's like when I said it feels like Robert Jordan, you know, that he just wrote some stuff that he felt was right, you know, like these 2 people traveling on a road, then the Dark Rider shows up. You know, this basic idea that might have been the first idea he had, might not have been, you know, but it's like, yeah, it might have been something like that. And I noted it down, and we will discuss the shades when we have more information on. We also discussed the situation with Rand and Tem, that Tem, you know, told him everything, so to speak, and Rand seems to know that he's telling the truth, but he doesn't want to admit it, of course, because his world is shaken and it's breaking apart, and everything he thought was real and right, and he thought he knew was being challenged, and that was quite powerful. We also discussed the scene in the show, and yeah, the way the show did the birth of Rand was quite nicely done as well. I really did like that scene. That was badass. The fighting choreography was absolutely marvelous. And, you know, I had this idea, you know, with the showing him from the back end. I think both would have been fine. Depends on what you want to do. If you want to introduce the Aiel a bit more, yeah. Also, we something that I pointed out and that I did not really notice that much when reading these two chapters is the names Dragon Wall, and I think the other one was Pride Wall, or this other wall thing where they fought, I think. And I don't know what that is, but I'm theorizing it might be a mountain range. I'm not sure because I mean they fought near a mountain, but we'll see who they are. We talked about the Green Man and who he is, and when I reread the chapter before or the two chapters before, when Tome told the story or the stories, and he named the Green Man together with the Ogier and the Aiel and the Trollocs. Those were the four big things he named. And now the Green Man, I think it's the one mythical person that is guarding a tree of life. That one, I will keep an eye on that for. I will keep an eye out for that, especially. So let's see where that leads. Then several houses were burned down randomly, but Matt's house was burned down as well. Might have something to do with him being a potential someone they were looking for. Yeah, and we all really like Nynaeve and the way she was written as well, and that you saw her gentle side and her kindness and her being an adult deep within. And I actually was reminded as well of the Doctor Who episode. If you watched that Mummy on the Orient Express, where it just said sometimes the only choices you have are bad ones, but you still have to choose, which was exactly what Nynaeve had to do all the time in that situation. There were people ending, there were people perhaps not that injured. She had to, organize everything, and if one was lost, she had to go to the next one. It's hard, harsh, and bad, but yeah. So I think that was everything we talked about. So not that much new stuff, I think, but we agreed on quite a lot of stuff, and it was quite fun again. So shout outs to you too. It's great to do this with you, and for the rest of you, we will see each other next Sunday, hopefully Sunday, and we will do 3 chapters because I'm curious and I want to go on as well, and let's see where it goes. And as always, if you like this, consider liking, subscribing, and ringing the bell down below. We'll keep you updated. I will probably do. I might start The Witcher tomorrow. I don't know when it's out. So, for you yesterday, because I'm recording this on Friday. So I might start Witcher tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it. And Arcane and Expanse are also lined up, and I'm probably gonna do Arcane before Expanse because it's only 8 episodes or 10. So it's gonna be, quite rather quickly probably, and then we'll go on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this a bit. What were your thoughts on the chapter? What did you like most? What did you perhaps not like, and how do you think they do it in the show? And I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you soon, and take care. Bye.